I mean, I am so proud of these two women. They started this group called the peoplellc.com. And y'all, go look at the website. It's going to set your hair on fire, okay?
Not
so
mine.
now we're going to focus on Governor Bobby Brady Jindal, who they have an excellent part of their website. Who does Governor Bobby Jindal see when he looks in the mirror? You got to go see it, y'all. It's awesome.
Well, I don't know.
So we're going to be very specific because...
Hang on. Vampires don't see anything when they look in the mirror. So I got to wonder. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Okay. So we've been talking about education, immunization, all the nasty things the state legislature is sneaking through. And Governor Bobby Jindal is at the head of all the horrible things that are being pushed through, including cap and trade. So from what I hear from discussions off the record here, off the air here, is that we have about 3 months, folks, to wake up, or we will be having cap and trade. And just so everybody understands it really quick, it is to create capital out of thin air, and basically you end up paying yet more money. I guess we'll all be working for $1 a week when it's all over. Let's say Tom has a factory, I have a factory, I get 10 carbon credits, he gets 10, he only uses 5. He then has 5 left over, and I buy it from him. What did he create and what did I create? Absolutely nothing. Air. So thin air, it's a way to create capital out of thin air because they've already raped us in every other way possible. So with that, Karen, would you take it away and tell us about what the legislature is preparing to do to further ruin the people of Louisiana?
Well, actually, we have, I believe it was in last session, we've actually already started passing some bills.
Great.
Where we've established that Louisiana.
When you say we, you mean the legislature.
The legislature.
These are things you are against,
let's
right?
Let's just say that they have established that it's in our best interest to start actually sequestering carbon as it occurs naturally. So we're actually...
Everybody hold your breath. Don't breathe out.
Right. So actually, as a state, our state government feels as though it is already in our best interest.
And Bobby Jindal he issued an executive order 2008-08, I think, BJ 2008-08. And that was directing the state agencies and departments, and that's on our website too, but directing the state agencies and departments to go green.
And what does that mean? What's wrong with green? It's for the children.
Well, we have to conserve, and we have to recycle, and we have to get hybrid cars, and of course the citizens get to pay for that.
Just like the citizens, Tom and I were talking about this article, and we are going to get back to Louisiana in 1 second, but there was a state that spent how much money, Tom?
I got it right here. This is from the Las Vegas Sun newspaper. It's talking about the city of Reno. It says that they put in some wind turbines. It says one turbine that cost the city $21,000 saved the city $4 on its energy bill.
How about that?
And overall, $416,000 worth of turbines netted them $2,800 in savings.
There you go. It's worth it to go green. Okay, so in Louisiana, we are facing this creation of the money out of thin air capital because it's, believe me, folks, to line more people's pockets. That's all. It ain't about us. So take it away, Karen. What's going on and what can we do?
Well, what's going on is I guess our governor has bought into global warming. I mean, I guess he believes that's really happening.
Well,
I don't think
according to experts on our show, including Dr. Bill Gray, who everyone locally relies on to predict hurricanes, and who is an eminent scientist, said it is the greatest scientific hoax of all time.
Yeah.
And we have that hooked on our website, along with an eminent astrophysicist at Tulane, Dr. Frank Tipler, also said that. You're never going to see that on the news locally, but yeah. So they've decided that global warming's real. Okay.
And that's what our whole coastal restoration plan, if you read the plan, that's what it's based on.
It's right.
It's based on the science of climate change.
Right.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Imagine if you're a legislator trying to vote against something called coastal restoration.
Now,
exactly.
It's going to be impossible.
Eric Scrimetta has been a stand-up guy on this, right? Or no? I saw him fighting with Foster Campbell about this. Am I crazy?
Scrimetta? I wasn't at that meeting.
Well,
but I do know.
We're still holding out on Mr. Scrimetta.
Okay, well then, because if he's changed his position, I would like to know because
he's spoken out about Agenda 21 clearly,
and he also spoke on this radio show and had quite a public debate with Foster Campbell about that. But I digress.
Yeah,
we could talk about that later.
He was at a meeting recently, at a Tea Party meeting, and when I spoke about free market, true free market, as opposed to monopoly, he pointed out to me that I should go and speak to Texas because Texas probably would tell me that the free market didn't work so well, and actually a sub-managed economy was preferable to that.
Well, that's shocking, and we will be keeping an eye on Eric Spermetta here on Baldy and the Blonde. And everybody, please go to thepeoplellc.com. This is an awesome website. So what you're telling us is they're shoving through cap and trade in the Louisiana legislature. They've already got some through. Bobby Jindal supports it. What can we do? And what is the language we need to use? Like,
Well, I mean, we need to find out the projects that are being funded through coastal restoration is what the concern is. I mean, coastal restoration is great, but when you look at the actual projects, and we can look to what's happening in St. Bernard as an example, they're not restoring the coast in St. Bernard, and there's no plans there to protect the coast. And when they were asked why, that's because basically when the sea levels rise, which is the model that they used
from climate change,
right, it's not going to be cost effective to protect that coast because it's not going to be there, basically.
Are you kidding me?
No.
And of course, no one understands that because who could be against coastal restoration?
So, and that's what I asked. I even asked, I said, so the whole model that this coastal restoration plan and all the projects that were chosen were based off of climate change and global warming. And he said yes.
Who's he?
The gentleman, I forgot what his name was, from the Coastal Restoration Commission.
Oh.
Do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name. He's in charge of all the scientists. He's one of the top guys, and I just can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So that
I think Kareem might be his first name.
So the fact that, for example, I mean, we all know what really caused the erosion of our coast, which was we basically are the whores on the energy plantation for the United States, and we don't get paid for it. They saltwater incursion from years of letting oil companies have their way with us without paying us. And not only not paying us, our royalties go to the federal government, and their corporate headquarters have all been moved to Texas. But hey, it's okay.
Point of order.
And that's what's happened.
If they're having their way with us and not paying us, that makes us sluts, not whores.
That's right.
And you called us whores.
There you go.
We're just watching.
So there you go. They've destroyed our coast, and we just take it. And now to fix our coast, the answer is we're going underwater anyway, so we're not going to do anything.
Well, they're redefining the coast because what we have to understand,
folks, this is serious. It is so pitiful.
It is. The coast begins actually at Orleans. Now, I live in St. Bernard, so shed a tear for me while you're at it, would you? Because I'm just not included in the coast. And in fact, they may even be discussing it today in one of the committee meetings in the parish, but we have something called the Golden Triangle. The only way you can refer to this triangle as golden is if you're in on the money end of it, as in making it off of cap and trade. Because what I call it is Bayou Bienvenue. Because Orleans Parish plans to pump 120 million gallons per day of their waste into Bayou Bienvenue, and we're going to create an ecotourist site out of it. I'm sorry, isn't that funny? That's hysterical.
Bayou Bienvenue.
Can't you just wait to get your ticket and walk on the bridge out into the bayou? It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. It's going to be lovely.
Just the smell.
It sounds like Dr. Chu is in charge of this project, huh? Dr. Holdren and Dr. Chu.
It's going to be
You're just
fabulous.
hating, Angela. You just hating.
I'm just hating. I mean,
Yes.
I'm just an effluent hater. I don't know what to say.
That's it. You're a hater, and I'm sorry, but, clearly you're not green.
And look,
Okay?
it has
You're not cool. You're not green.
But really, it has nothing to do with the fact that the scientists from Comite Resources and Tierra Resources, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's their studies on which the parishes are forced to base whether or not this is a safe project.
Who says this? The parish has to use that study.
Well, because they're the only ones who have done these studies, because they do the study, then they present it to the parish, they say how it'll save the parish money, and then they say, and by the way, let us do it.
Yeah,
and everybody goes, okay,
Yeah,
except the people in New Iberia recently stood up to this, very recently.
Really?
And they stood up to it, and they beat it back.
And what happened to St. Bernard? Where's all my fighters in St. Bernard?
It's in the preliminaries, and I've given them information, but, who am I?
I have to say,
I'm just the people.
We have had lots of pretty shocking interviews on this show. I mean, really, y'all don't know yet. When you look, I mean, this is pretty much, I would say, right up there. It
I agree.